You will see tomorrow more affordability assistance for Manitobans.
Tonight, the province's finance minister hints at more affordability measures on the eve of the 2023 budget. More just ahead.
This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Thank you for joining us. Manitoba's finance minister is hinting at more affordability measures for Manitobans in the 2023 budget. It will be released tomorrow afternoon. But after a question period today, critics had little hope for meaningful action in this year's spending plan. CBC's Josh Crabb reports.
Instead of honoring the tradition of buying new shoes, Finance Minister Cliff Cullen opted to buy 2 pairs of boots to give to people in need. He says Manitobans can expect more affordability measures in Tuesday's budget. The minister says there's an increase in equalization payments from Ottawa and gains in employment.
That, along with, as you referenced, assistance from the federal government, allows us to make strategic investments in healthcare, education, social programming, and as you will see tomorrow, more affordability assistance for Manitobans.
The finance minister wouldn't speak to specifics today. When asked by reporters if people would be getting more checks in the mail, he did say the budget allows the government to do some things other than sending money to Manitobans. NDP finance critic Adrian Sala told reporters he expects the budget to be filled with big promises focused on persuading Manitobans the government has changed ahead of an election.
Over the last 7 years, this government has failed to take measures to support improved affordability for Manitobans. We've seen recurring costs like hydro costs. This government has legislated hydro rate increases on Manitobans for the first time in our province's history.
He argues Manitobans can't trust the Tories to follow through. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The real estate division of True North Sports and Entertainment is considering buying the downtown Portage Place Mall. A report published by the city this morning says True North has until the end of this year to decide whether to buy the 36-year-old shopping centre. The deal requires True North to engage in public consultations before any redevelopment occurs. True North would buy the mall itself from Vancouver's Peterson Group and the land and parkade from the Forks.
A massive vacancy, potential vacancy, a large cumbersome asset like Portage Place not performing the way it perhaps should be is a problem for all of us.
The Forks has signed off on the deal, and so have both the federal and provincial governments. A 15-year-old boy is dead and a 17-year-old is in hospital after both were shot early this morning in Winnipeg's St. James neighborhood. Emergency crews were called around 1 in the morning to Amherst Street between Bruce and Portage. The 15-year-old was rushed to hospital in critical condition but died. The 17-year-old went to hospital in unstable condition but has since been upgraded to stable. Anyone with information is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. Our Northern Manitoba First Nation has declared a state of emergency, calling on the provincial and federal governments for immediate help. Opipon-Napawin Cree Nation Chief Shirley Ducharme says 3 people have died in her community in the last 2 weeks. She says there are immediate needs to help people battling trauma, addiction, and mental health issues, but she would also like to see a healing center built so people can be helped closer to home.
When they come back from the treatment center, they fall back into this cycle again because there's nothing there for them as supports to continue on with the ongoing healing that they need.
Ducharme is also calling on the province to limit the hours the local ferry operates in order to control the flow of alcohol into the community. Meantime, another Manitoba First Nation is wanting answers tonight after 2 teenage girls were found dead last week after a frigid night. CBC's Stephanie Cram spoke to the family of one of the girls and brings us the story.
St. Teresa Point First Nation is in mourning after 2 teenage girls were discovered unresponsive meters apart in the snow last Wednesday morning following a cold February night. One of the girls has been identified as Dana Shingoose. Her grandparents had warned her it was too cold to be outside.
Her grandmother told her it's kind of too cold for her to go out, and we were trying to hold her back, but she didn't want to stay home. She wanted to be with her friends.
Albert Shingoose is remembering his granddaughter as a good girl who was dealing with trauma. Dana's mother, Ashley Shingoose, has been missing since March 2022. Albert has been spending weeks in Winnipeg looking for his daughter, motivated by a promise to Dana.
Shingoose says the other girl was Dana's friend. The community's chief, Alvin Flett, says the two girls were found between two houses and wonders if it was more than hypothermia that caused their deaths.
How could anybody just lie down and sleep and then succumb to both of them at the same time?
He worries the teens' deaths were the result of the drug crisis in his community. They're waiting the results of the autopsies and toxicology report.
For Shingoose, he's just thankful to have his family nearby as they plan a memorial for Dana.
I'm here with my whole family, and that's my strength. We talk together, we cry together, we laugh together.
Shingoose says his family gives him strength to grieve the death of his granddaughter and to remain hopeful he'll find his daughter Ashley. Stephanie Cram, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A beloved Brandon Community Centre won't face the wrecking ball, at least not anytime soon. Supporters packed Brandon City Hall tonight to learn the fate of the Park Community Centre. The popular downtown facility needs major upgrades or a new building, which could cost $1 million. City Council was to vote tonight to abandon plans to build a new facility due to a lack of funding. But supporters who spoke tonight say the facility is more than just a building to downtown residents.
Downtown is the heart of Brandon. Please, please reconsider demolishing.
It's obvious people want this place to be saved. Why can't we just save it? Why do we have to go through all of this? Why have we taken the last 5 years to figure out what to do with a building that's falling apart?
Brandon City Council voted tonight instead to work with the community to find other options to keep the centre open. Here is a look at downtown Winnipeg tonight. We had a beautiful weekend, at least in southern Manitoba. Tonight, though, we are dancing around the -20s, -30 even at times in this hour. Meteorologist John Sauder has our full weather forecast coming up next.
This weather update is brought to you by Capital Ford Lincoln. The trade and upgrade event is on now.
Well, today was cool, but it was a great day if you love sunshine here in southern Manitoba. Not a cloud in sight, clear skies tonight. Nice full moon out there as well. And we'll see, other than some leftover flurries right along the Hudson Bay coast, a fairly clear sky across the north. Tuesday, starting with bright skies, but we'll start to see that cloud thickening up in the afternoon. And then as we get into Wednesday, we start to warm up, but there is some snow moving through. As a matter of fact, south of the border, we'll pick up a pretty good accumulating snow, and we'll start to see that in southern Manitoba later in the day on Wednesday, and more snow on Thursday. 48-hour snowfall prediction up to Wednesday at 4 p.m. Doesn't have a whole lot for southern Manitoba, but if you widen the view and look to the south, you see more of an accumulating snow, and this will eventually work its way up into southern Manitoba for Thursday. Tonight, though, nice and clear. And yes, it'll be a nice full moon out there. North winds around 10 to 15. They were gusting as high as 40 through the day today. -22 in the morning, and another chilly afternoon at -12. And then, yes, we do start to warm up, but there is a lot of cloud second half of the week, and a lot of cloud right into the weekend, and more snow on the way, probably on Sunday.
Thank you, John, and that is your late news for this Monday. Thanks you for being with us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow at 6 and 11. Have a great night.